good morning, everyone. Welcome to another War Week Bears football. We've got the crew this morning. Good morning, Woody.
Morning. I just wanted to bring up non-Bears news. Just on NFL Fox, there was a bench-clearing brawl between Cleveland and the 49ers.
I just saw that too. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning, Ken.
And Mike, of course, is getting everything out. Hey, just another thing Fox showed right before the fight was Justin Fields 8 touchdowns, the most in the NFL since week 4.
Oh, they're weak defenses, Ken. They're fucking weak defenses we played against.
Yeah, I know. But, hey, progress is progress. Trending is trending. Kind of like Dan and I were talking before the game, everyone – it's funny the way everyone pushes stuff like Caleb Williams is going to be the number 1 pick, and I hear last night he got torched by Notre Dame. So, pundits will be pundits, but, hey, the numbers are the numbers, and he's right now best in the NFL since week 4. The Bears are trending offensively in the right direction. As far as production, I don't care how bad the defenses are. So we're doing some good things here. Vikings, Bears Day. We'll get into it really quick. The first one we're going to hit is the injury report because there were some big things there. Kyle Gordon will be in today. So will Jalen Johnson, Cole Kmet, Doug Kramer, all in today. So the only questionables are Eddie Jackson and Lucas Patrick. And then, of course, the running back committee's out. Terrell Smith being out was one that kind of that caught us because we did our show Wednesday. He was okay. But I guess whatever bug he has been bugging him. So no Herbert today, no Roschon Johnson. So we're going to see what's his name now?
Dante Foreman.
Dante Foreman. So it's a real good first look at him in the regular season. We haven't really seen him since the preseason, have we?
No.
We
don't know. We don't know if I don't know if Darren is in our active roster right now. Maybe we'll see some action today.
So, and of course, we should get Roschon Johnson back next week because concussion protocol, I've never really seen it go past 2 weeks. So hopefully we'll get him back. And then, of course, the big show today, Fields versus Cousins. Let us know who do you think is going to have the better game. Give us a comment as well. Fields, Cousins, the top two scorers right now, quarterback in the league, go head-to-head as far as touchdowns. Fields being the best since week 4, but overall for the season, Cousins is ranked as number 1. And Justin is number 2. So it's going to be a pretty interesting day here. So I don't know. What are you looking at for today's game? I know we talked about it Wednesday night with Rob and whatnot, but quarterback-wise, I think this could be is this going to be a gun show today?
I don't know. Vikings going to have to get Jordan Addison in this game a lot more since Justin Jefferson's isn't playing. Hawkinson they got, and KJ, I dropped the ball, Osborne. So I don't know if it's going to be a shootout. I think the Vikings are going to try to run more with Jefferson out, maybe with Madison, and they have Cam Akers. And we still have our same weapons. So if Justin plays like he did the last 2 weeks, hopefully he has another 4 touchdowns. But what Rob was telling us on Wednesday is that the Vikings are going to be throwing different, like a defense that we didn't see yet. So I'm interested in seeing how our offensive line reacts to that blitz packages.
Yeah, he said that a lot. You guys have never seen a defense like this.
Yeah.
I love when guys come on and say it's like, dude, really?
Hey, they're not undefeated. They're 1-4 like us. So they better change their blitz packages up a little bit.
We saw the Chiefs defense, and they run a lot of exotic defenses in Kansas City. We've seen some other defenses. So, okay, Rob, that's the X factor. You have a defense that no one in the NFL has ever seen before, right? So, hey, then they've got Hawkinson up there. I would think that Droppinson would become the big target for Cousins today.
Probably. I mean, yeah. Probably it'd be a big target for them. Got to keep an eye on him.
And then we got the sick one himself, coughing, puking. Well, I don't know about puking, but coughing and hacking, and I'm surprised doesn't have 3,000 layers on, fighting whatever flu bug he's got. There's Mike. What are you thinking for today? I mean, do you think it's
I don't think it's going to be a shootout. Them losing Justin Jefferson is huge. You know what I mean? They're going to have a better running game than us. I see us throwing a lot for sure. We only got like one or two backs, or basically our backfield is empty. So I see us throwing more. But I mean, it's battle the basement for the reason. I feel like they got the worst team. Their defense ain't that good. And we're finally coming off a win, playing decent. So we'll just have to see what today brings.
Plus is a division game, very important. I mean, we got hammered our first division game against Green Bay. So hopefully we can. It's battle of the basement. So we don't want to be in the
battle of one team that's trending up, one team that's trending down.
Yeah.
Is what this is today. And I think on their side, I mean, they still got some weapons. They're showing more from the fallout from the brawl there. They have some weapons still. No Justin Jefferson. Chad's asking in the comments here. He's on the IR for 4 weeks. So we won't be seeing him for a while. But it's still, on offense there, even without Justin Jefferson, that they are with weapons. I mean, our running game, I think we'll see more fields designed runs. I don't think they really abandoned the run, because even last week when we went down to the fullback, he got 7 touches, 8 touches with a guy who doesn't take snaps to run the ball. So to me, that says Eberflus doesn't care what guy he's got back there. If he can run the ball, here you go, bud. Next up, I mean, I don't think the run game changes much overall, except maybe you might see a few more fields designed runs. That's just the way Eberflus kind of showed on last Thursday. He doesn't care who the guy is. If your job says ball carrier, you're gonna get the ball 15, 20 times. There's gonna be 15 to 20 handoffs in this game.
And the good thing is that, Herbert's out, 4 weeks, Rashawn with the concussion. I'm just glad that it happened in the second half, because if we would have had the fullback running in the first half, it might have been a different game last week.
Well, I don't know how you guys feel, but they're supposed to be upgrading these helmets and everything else for pads to limit that. There's been more concussion protocols the last 2 years doing that than there has been in damn near 10.
Well, the talk is about, how they have in preseason and training camp with the helmet covers on. Well, we'll see how that goes as well. I can't see watching a game with those helmet covers on.
Yeah, that'd be okay. There's a Philip says Bears by 2 touchdowns. He was watching some of the show on Wednesday.
Yeah, I didn't say that, but
yeah. I like this. Maybe we'll get Mike McCarthy. No, thank you, Chad.
Yeah, no, we're good.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. I mean, I don't think the run game's gonna change too much, but and we've got at least one guy, Foreman, who's carried the ball. I think they're gonna run pretty normal. I just think you'll see more field design runs, which we were starting to see more of anyways. So I don't know what it is with this coaching staff. It's like what they decide. Well, in the first 4 games, we're gonna slow roll some things in, and by week 5 and 6, we'll be functional. It's like, once again, this is why preseason in the NFL sucks. Those 3 preseason games did nothing to prepare any of this team. Good question. That's what we were talking about, Albert. I mean, it really does. And you're right, Mike. This concussion protocol thing. We're supposed to be making the helmets safer, the pads. But you know what, though? I think the concussion protocol is somewhat of a moving goalpost. like, because now they have to go through like so some NFL officials. Oh well, Mike just got hit. Make him go through the protocol, and even if you get I don't know, you just kind of got hit hard. Oh yeah, you got a concussion. He's got to be out for a week. I don't know. I mean, it's good and it's bad, right? That this concussion protocol, but it seems like if someone does this, oh, I got concussion now. I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.
Well, see, I don't think people remember this. Foreman last year for Carolina, he had 900 yards rushing.
Yeah.
So he could be, if he stays healthy, he could fill in quite well when Herbert's
He could be the
out.
number one.
So we'll see what happens.
Well, you know what's funny too, Mike, though, and everyone in the panel, what's funny is we're talking about concussion protocol, and that's why Roshan's out. How many times have we seen, watching, a Football Life or, one of the other docu-series on like the Super Bowl where a guy's like, oh yeah, I got my bell rung harder than hell in the first quarter, and then I went off for 200 yards after that.
Well, look at Jim McMahon, all the concussions he had. When he leaves his house, his wife has to put their home address in a GPS so he can get back. So
Hey,
concussions
that's my
are no
wife
joke.
now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. I mean, we're looking post career life as well, but at some level, I think they gotta allow the players to assume some risk. Like, okay, I get it. Like during the game, like, okay, Woody, you're the running back, and you just got your bell massively rung, right? And then you fail concussion protocol. Okay, fine. But now it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and like, they need. I don't know. All I know is that the protocol is like pretty damn strict, like what they have to pass, right? At some point, though, the players should be allowed to assume risk to play in the game Sunday, because by that time you're 3-4 days out. They're an adult. They should be allowed to assume risk. This is just the NFL being overly cautious. I get it because we're worried about these guys' health when they post career, but some of these guys lose their career over this.
Well, yeah, I think they're worried about, like, for example, Junior Seau. After his career was over, he sued the NFL about the concussion. So I think this is all over these past players that retired that are starting to sue, that they're taking all these precautions right now.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying though. So so you got a concussion today, right, Woody? So on Wednesday you say, I'm going to sign a waiver, and I'm going to play Sunday.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to say. Hey, I was quarterback 13 years for the GFFL, our men's league in my county here, and I had 2 concussions in 1 year, and we were going into the playoffs and stuff like that. There was no way you were holding me back. I still played as well, but
yeah.
NFL's a whole different ball game.
Here's an interesting comment. We need to get Mooney and Scott more involved. I like to see Scott with a deep ball as well. Mooney they tried last week, right? I mean, I still that touchdown. Well, the throw to him in the end zone was definite PI. In fact, you could say 2 of the 4 he got PI'd, and he didn't get the flag. But yeah, we definitely need to see more of them.
And he had a good game. He had a good game against Denver as well. So I'd like to see him get more involved instead of just more, because these teams are going to start adjusting on more. And we need, Komet's been involved a lot more. We got to get Mooney, Velus Jones with that goddamn reverse they fucking run all the time. But I like to see Tyler Scott in there and see, if he can throw down the field, doubling up on Moore and getting Tyler Scott, because he's a speed demon.
He's fast.
Yes.
Oh, it's Chad asking. MHJ. Who's he? Are we going after?
Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. Took me a second. Chad, way early to be talking about it, but yes, that would. That's honestly, when I look at this team for what's our draft needs for next year. We talked about this Wednesday. If you were watching, The O-line, we've been giving crap for basically 2 years, but really when you think about it, the O-line's pretty darn good. Considering they were giving Fields 6 to 7 seconds per snap. I mean, Jay Cutler would have been in like heaven. Like he would have been in love with everyone. Everyone would have gotten a Ferrari, if he had that kind of protection when he was in Chicago his first 3 years. So it's not, I don't think we're going O-line. I think in the draft, especially now with Claypool being gone, which looks like it was addition by subtraction. There's some, I didn't read the article. There were some articles where he was talking about why things went the way they did. But I mean, why wouldn't you add a weapon like that? Could you imagine DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Darnell Mooney now, who will probably pay some money to keep? That's it. That's a wide receiving core right there, isn't it, boys?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know the aspect on Mooney, what they're going to do at the end of the year. But if things go the way they keep going and Justin Fields doubles his win from last year, say if we get 7 wins at the end of the year, obviously I wouldn't get a quarterback. I would get the receiver and our second pick, the edge rusher in the draft.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Woody, how about you, Dan? You in the same track as we are?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of a common thought. I mean, the problem with Marvin Harrison Jr. there, like if you don't take him at 1, though, will he be there past number 2? Because in the mock drafts, a lot of people already have him going, 2, 3. So if we're gonna, if we have if we have the first and the second, obviously, we're trading away the 1. So someone can go take a quarterback. And I think the number our other pick, goes to Marvin Harrison Jr. But that's what I would like to see too. Marvin Harrison Jr. would be nice to see in a Bears uniform because that would look pretty sick.
And
Wayne County, here we go.
And I'm reading a comment from Philip. It says, "Well said, Mike." Well, he hasn't been talking, so I don't know who he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know. yeah. But
Mike,
hey,
keep paying these people.
Hey, but he agrees, Woody. So
Yeah.
you're all right. So yeah, we've got an interesting draft coming up, or some interesting decisions this year. I don't think a quarterback's in our draft plans at all. Period. Not even late rounds. I think we're happy with our backup situation. We're happy with our starting quarterback situation. Next year, we look at the Bears draft in total. It's way early, but I think we're looking wide receiver, the edge, and then we're probably doing some safeties, corners, depth on on the lines in total. But it's, the only skill position we're going to go at probably Marvin Harrison, and then everything else is on the defensive side of the ball and O-line support probably.
And speaking of quarterback, I don't know if this is true, but I've been hearing it all over the place. They promoted Nathan Peterman again to the active roster.
Yep, back to the 53-man roster.
Holy shit. This guy's been moving around like, wow. I mean,
Who's
thank
the
God he
roster
doesn't thank God he doesn't move his family out of the Chicago area every time he gets released.
Wait, is he on our roster again? I thought he went somewhere else.
He's on our roster.
He's on our roster. He was on the practice squad. They moved him up again.
And they'll cut him again.
Are we carrying 3 right now then?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're taking. So wait, who's in the third quarterback role then officially? Is he in it?
Peterman's probably number 2, and Tyson's probably Peterman's probably number 3, and Tyson's number 2.
All right, so he's in that I can't play unless they're both mortally injured kind of thing. Hey, let's get somebody. He wants to. There we go. See, Woody, you and I were right. Caleb Williams isn't it. I said the same thing, Steve. I don't think we're drafting a quarterback.
Like I was saying to all these Bears groups, when people were asking me about laughing at me when I said Bo Nix, Caleb Williams is this and that, and I went off on this fucking guy about Caleb Williams, and he's quiet after last night's game. All I said was, "Told you."
So, Mike, I'm sure we'll talk about
Hey,
Wednesday.
I just looked at the depth chart. Tyson Bagnet's 2, Peterman's 3, but they have Peterman as out on the
Yeah,
depth
because
chart.
he's an emergency
in that-
quarterback.
He's in an emergency quarterback slot, so he's out unless they're.
Yep.
We'll probably talk about this on Wednesday more. I saw an article about this as well, Mike. Trading Bo Jackson or Johnson. I know the one thing I will say is the one article I did see on it. I think it was on Bleacher Report. I saw it. They were talking about basically it depends on how the next couple games go. If we drop 2 of the next 3, one or both may get traded because look at it, both long on the contract, so to speak. In other words, they're due some money. Was it Jalen's got a big cap hit actually?
Yeah, I don't.
Not that the
I
cap
don't
is
see.
much of a worry to this team for next year because I think we still got like 80 or 90 mil available. But the article made an interesting point. We've drafted a lot of young talent the last 2 years. Jalen hasn't really lived up, or no, Bojack hasn't lived up to the hype of a couple years ago. Both had some injury issues though. So
Yeah.
I think that's something we'll discuss probably Wednesday or maybe in a week or two. That sound about right, Mike?
Yeah.
Well, my quick take on that, I don't see us resigning both of them. Neither of them. I don't think we extend Jalen Johnson. And with Eddie Jackson the last couple of years with his missed tackles and actually his game against Green Bay, you're playing the center of the field, you stay there. And he got burned. Dobbs burned him in back of the end zone. I can't see us signing neither of them.
There's another score prediction for Philip. So he's saying 36-22 Bears. Okay. Chad, who's on the show with us, watching him every week, says he keeps Justin Fields. I would concur. Phil, I'm not sure you were saying 102, and then Chad again. Okay, coaching candidate. I take it you're talking DC probably.
I don't know about that.
Let's assume, because remember, be patient, follow through. He's only in year 2. And, I kind of agree with that. I think NFL coaches, it takes 3 to 5 years for their system to fully take root. Okay, maybe we're looking for DC. What do you guys think for DC? Oh, no, Chad says no. Head coach. Okay, so yes, that opens up that can of worms. Is Eberflus fired and gone? Is the first question we have to ask at the end of this season.
Whew. That's a rough call. I mean, they're talking about if they fire Eberflus, which Bears never did, fired a coach in midseason, they would promote Hightower, our special teams coach, to head coach and keep Getsky. I don't know the coaching candidates. I mean, the way Pittsburgh's playing, they fire Mike Tomlin. He's long tenured there too. Do we give him a chance? I have no idea what, and what I was saying, I was talking to a guy the other day. You know what? Even though he's in Washington, what about Eric Bieniemy? If he wants to be a head coach or stay an offensive coordinator.
It's funny. I know. Good morning, Buffy. Bear down. I don't think we will fire him during the season, but we hear all the talk. Like, stick with the plan. Everything's going like it should go. It takes time. Blah blah blah. Look, if the Bears keep trending up like they've done the last 3 weeks, right? Every week has gotten a little bit better. And then last week we go into Washington on a primetime game and we win impressively. Well, the score is more impressive than what the game was because the third quarter we were all going, "Oh, great, here we go again." But if we win today, if we beat the Raiders, who are actually a pretty good team, if we win 3 of the next 4, then I think Eberflus is safe. I don't think we ever see. Look at, we had success with Lovie Smith. I don't think reunions don't happen, Chad. It's not going to happen. LT is not a coach, but you corrected yourself and say Tomlin. But LT would be great as a running back today, wouldn't he? In his prime. But I think if Tomlin got fired, that's one of those situations you're like, ooh, this guy's probably going to be a Hall of Fame coach. Do you drop everything and fire. Even if the season goes better, you say, "Hey, man, I know you're doing things in the right direction, but Tomlin, you got to go." I wonder if that happens.
I was thinking about it, but like I said, we don't know what Does Eric Bieniemy want to be a head coach, or does he want to stay a coordinator with Ron Rivera? So
I don't think Bieniemy.
Or here's another candidate too that I was hearing and I agree on is Ben Johnson of Detroit, but we don't know if they're going to let him go if he wants to be a head coach. If Detroit, wins out, maybe he wants to win a Super Bowl, whatever, and then go to a different team. That's another candidate as well.
I think though with the latter two though, Woody, the guys who are OCs right now, they only become options if we actually fire Eberflus. Whereas Tomlin, the second he gets fired, he get hired. You know what I mean?
We'll see. We don't know. They know a lot more in the NFL than we do. We just give our opinions.
Yeah, but I mean, I think 1 year. I always laugh though when they fire a head coach after 1 year.
Right.
It's like I don't care. It's like it's not like every so often a guy who comes in goes straight to the playoffs. What happens, but it usually takes a minute for that stuff to go. But anyways, guys, let's wrap this up.
I got one quick question, real quick. I had to step outside. Did you guys do your predictions?
Not yet.
Nope.
Okay, I thought we did that Wednesday, but let's go ahead and do it. Dan, what's your prediction?
27-17 Bears. Fields is going to have 3 touchdowns, maybe 2 passing, 1 rushing.
Woody?
I said 28-25 Santos with the game-winning field goal.
I can't remember what mine was, but I think it was somewhere around 35-28, 35-32, somewhere around there Wednesday.
You said 40-10 Bears. That's all I remember.
That'll be my second. My Woody said I picked it pick, so I'll be down for 2. Chad, where are you at today? 35-20 Bears. Mike, what do you got for today?
I got 27-20 Bears.
All right. Put your comments on Mike the Bear fan page. Winning some, giving away some free merch there. Also, we're about 400 people shy, 400 likes shy of 5K. So let's try to get there. Like and share the feed. There we go. 41-20 for Russell. What we got here? Steve. All right, 26-16. So we got not many people taking the Vikings. I think even Rob on Wednesday took the Bears, and he's a Vikings fan. So we're getting close to game time here. So we'll kick off here and go the other feed, which will be up here in a moment. We'll post the other feed so y'all can. They keep coming. 21-7 Bears. I don't know, Buffy. I think they might score more than 7 on us. What do we got here? 24-16 Bears. 21-10. So make sure on the Mike the Bear fan page, you put in there if you get it correctly. There's some free merch that we may be sending, some signed signed stuff. I'm not sure what we're doing this week as far as what we're giving away. Also notice today on the uniforms, the dip Butkus patches they put on. You'll see that during the game. Woody, Dan, Mike, any final thoughts before we close this out? And I'll throw some more predictions up as you guys go.
I'll say the wrap up now. The ways that the Bears got to win. Can't bite on that play action. Kirk Cousins, one of the best play action passers in the league. We got to, Gordon comes back. I'm excited to see what he can do. They have TJ Hawkinson and Jordan Addison and Osborne that we got to lock down on. And they have a mediocre run game as well. So, and hopefully our offensive line, with these different defensive schemes that Rob said that the Vikings do. And that's our key to victory.
All right, guys, bear down. We'll see you guys in a few seconds.
Bear down.
Bear down.